At the age of 90, Jimmy Carter announced he had cancer and it had spread to his brain.
I just thought I had a few weeks left. But I was surprisingly at ease. You know, I've had a wonderful life. I've had thousands of friends, and I've had an exciting and adventurous and gratifying existence. So I was surprisingly at ease.
He would stun the world just a few months later by announcing, thanks to a new treatment, he was cancer-free. At 92 years old, he was briefly hospitalized after he became dehydrated while helping to build homes for the poor. He was back on site the following day. His was the typical American story with very atypical results. Born in the small town of Plains, Georgia, he joined the Navy, studied nuclear physics, and married the girl next door. Literally. He first saw his wife on the day she was born, when he was just 3 years old.
The best thing I ever did was marrying Rosalind. That's the pinnacle of my life.
The peanut farmer turned politician. And after one term as the governor of Georgia, he became the Democratic nominee for president, winning easily with a public jaded by Watergate and his slogan, "Trust me."
It's a long way from Plains to Washington, D.C., but we've made a great deal of progress lately. I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
In office, his domestic accomplishments were limited, remembered mostly for high interest rates and inflation that led to a recession. His bigger impact was in foreign policy. He brokered peace between Israel and Egypt with the 1978 Camp David Accords, normalized relations with China, and he negotiated the SALT II nuclear treaty with the Soviet Union. But he would later boycott the Olympics there in protest of that country's invasion of Afghanistan. His legacy is most closely tied with this. November 1979. The U.S. Embassy in Tehran was stormed. More than 60 Americans were taken hostage. He ordered what turned out to be a botched rescue attempt. In large part because of that, Carter lost his bid for re-election to Ronald Reagan. But Carter successfully negotiated the release of the hostages. Still, Iran decided to hold them until just minutes after Reagan was inaugurated, which he would later reflect on.
I wish I had sent one more helicopter to get the hostages, and we would have rescued them, and I would have been reelected. But that may have interfered with the foundation of the Carter Center. And if I had to choose between 4 more years and the Carter Center, I think I would choose the Carter Center.
He and his wife opened the Carter Center and dedicated decades to promoting human rights and democracy, overseeing elections, often meeting with leaders the U.S. considered unfriendly, and targeting diseases in the developing world. And he was a very vocal critic of Israel.
The citizens of Gaza are treated more like animals than like human beings.
He was a man who reached the height of the presidency, won the Nobel Peace Prize, helped millions by tackling disease and dictators, and promoted peace even when it was controversial back home. His 29th and final book was titled A Full Life. For Jimmy Carter, it most certainly was.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.